All right, so we are 17 days away from the release of 1984 on MLB The Show 23. So, one of the ways to make this roster file really come to life is through rebrands. And we've gotten a handful of questions through the ATG Twitter feed on how to really do that. So I figured I would just do a quick tutorial on how to do a rebrand or create a custom team inside of franchise, again, just to kind of get that feel for 1984. We have taken the liberty of going through and creating logo kits for all of the teams in the 1984 roster file. So that's really where this starts. And there's a couple of different ways that you can access that. But I'll show you right here, just so maybe you can get a little bit organized and go through and just download a bunch of different logo kits all at once. If you just go into your Create button and then go into the vaults, into the logo vault. And if you do a search for my username, my Catch237, you will see that there are a whole bunch. I got to change that to online ID, but there are a whole bunch of logo cuts in here for all of the 1984 teams, and these are all the logos specific to that era. The logo kits that you can't find here, you will find if you do a search for ATG underscore. Baseball, but you can simply just do ATG and then underscore, and you'll see logo kits come up for them as well. And he loves hot dogs, which is great. We do have the ATG branding on these logo kits, so you're going to get the Brewers, Astros, Expos, Royals, Diablos. We do have the two Mexican League teams, the Diablos and the Rieros, in the '84 roster set. And then there's my kit right there, the Billiard America's Catcher kit. So America's Hernia. So you'll find these six under the ATG logo kit, or I'm sorry, the ATG online ID, and again you'll find the others under the Catch237 ID. We will be releasing a uniform guide, so you don't necessarily have to go in and figure out, exactly what do the uniforms look like with the stripes and all that fun stuff. So we'll do a pretty easy one here. So I'll go through and I'll go over to. I love it when that does that. I'll go over and we'll do the. Let's look at the Mets. We'll do the '84 Mets. So we'll download their logo kit, and I'll show you how to create a team here. So you're just going to save that to your logo files, and you will get an error. Happens every single time. Don't worry about it. You won't have to go in and save that again, which is cool. It's just kind of a pain that you have to wait here and wait for this thing to tell you that it had an unhandled server exception. But that didn't actually occur. So to set up a custom team in MLB The Show, you're going to go into franchise and hit the square button and start new. So if you do have a current franchise going or whatever it might be, and you want to start the new '84 franchise, just hit that square button, start new, and then you're going to go into load your saved rosters. So when this baby goes live, you'll have access to it. So we're still working on this thing, putting the finishing touches on it, but man, this thing is coming along beautifully. You're going to come down to the team that you're going to replace, and you can see right there next to the square on the right hand side. All you got to do is just hit R1 for the custom team, and you can create a new custom team or load an existing custom team if you already have it saved. It does take some time to go through and do the rebranding on all of these teams, so I wouldn't plan on sitting down and doing this all in one shot, and you'll see why that is. So I'm going to just start from scratch here so you can see that it automatically applies the team's current color scheme as well as the current logo to it. But we have the ability to completely change everything if we wanted to. But because we're doing a rebrand of just the Mets, we're going to leave the colors as is. We're going to use the location, team name, abbreviation, everything as is. So that's easy. You can also access the logo vault here as well if you want to. So either way is fine. So you can just pull the logo vault up. But again, we have made life very, very easy for you by creating those logo kits so you can get organized. prior to sitting down, and then you'll have them all sitting right there for you. So the way that I typically do this, and again, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this, but what I typically do is I'm going to lay the base of the uniform down first, and then apply the logos after. So where I found what I found to be the most useful resource for figuring out what did the uniforms look like in 1984 was by going to Baseball Reference and going to that team in Baseball Reference. So if you simply just did a Google search for 1984 New York Mets roster, click on the link that brings you to Baseball Reference. It'll bring you right to where you need to go, and then you'll see under more Mets pages there'll be a thing that says uniforms. You'll see all of the numbers on there, and then you'll see a little link up at the top above the numbers that say the individual's numbers. You'll see a little link that says BBHOF Baseball Hall of Fame uniforms, and it will bring you to a page that gives you an idea of exactly what those uniforms look like that year. With the sock color, the cleat color, the different color schemes if there was a few alternates or whatever it might be. So let's go ahead and make the classic Mets home uniform. Obviously they had the blue hat with the blue bill. One of the things that I do just as a little touch here for 84 is I'll go through and we'll do the green underside of the underbill. That's what they used to look like back in the 80s before they went to the gray that they have now. So I go right to the middle of the green with the right stick, and right to the middle of the blue with the left stick, all the way over on the right-hand side, and get that green underside. Bill edge is going to be blue. Top button was orange, and the stitching was blue. So that's what our base of our hat looked like. You can go in here and add the cap logo if you want to right now. Certainly have the ability to do that. But like I said, I like to go through and just get the base of the uniform laid. So we're going to start with the home white. So we're, as you can see up on the top there, working with the home jerseys. It was actually a pullover jersey, I believe, so it didn't have buttons, so you're going to use buttons as the same color. They did have the pinstripes, which were the blue, and there was some stuff going on with the Mets uniforms. So they had a shoulder color. They actually had a double stripe going on. With the shoulder, that was the orange and the blue, like that, and it came down on the side of the jersey. And they also had a thick band, solid blue collar as well. Undershirts were blue, and again, I've just done these so many times, I know them now. But if you go onto the Baseball Reference page, you can see a picture of these clear as day and just recreate them. I'm going to hit R1, go over to the sleeves. Going to make that white. Pinstripes, yes. Change those to blue as well. And then I want to match up my things here, my stripes here, so I get that blue and orange stripe all the way down the arm from the collar. Okay, this is my biggest gripe with the game, is that there are very, very limited number types or number fonts and letter fonts in here. So I typically use font 2 for just about everybody. Breaks my heart as a Yankee fan because it is the Red Sox font, but it is the closest to kind of the standard block font that's out there. The rest of these are a little bit that one's not too bad, but it's small. The rest of these are just a little too, cartoony for me. So matter of preference there. But we're going to go with the orange outer and the blue inner number here, which is what that looked like on those jerseys. And then the same for the number. They do have the number front options as well, which is really nice. So you can put them in 3 different locations on the front. So the Mets did have a number on the front of their jersey in 84 and beyond. You can even throw a sleeve number on there. So if you're thinking back to some of the earlier American League Central, for whatever reason, back in the late 50s, early 60s, they loved the sleeve number. You could throw those on there as well. And then pants, same thing, right? So we're going to throw the pinstripes on those bad boys. We're going to go all the way back to the double 2 color and matching that up. So I want to try to make sure that the orange is on, if I'm looking at it, at this view, orange is on the left and blue is on the right all the way through, right? Not mixing our colors up too badly. Belt color, I'm going to change that to blue or black. Easy way. You can see here that this gives you your favorite colors. So these are just the ones that you've selected while kind of in this menu. And you do have the ability to move this around and create custom colors. The other thing that you can do is you can switch to the MLB colors, and the Orioles are the first one in there, and their primary color is black. So if I wanted to change them to a black, you do have to hit R2 and then L2 to get it to come back there, but you can select that as well. So I'm just going to leave this blue for right now. So going to the batting helmet, we're going to leave the main color as blue. The bill is going to be blue as well. We're going to leave this one shiny. The matte the matte finish helmets didn't really exist then. They were all pretty shiny. And the logo is going to be shiny as well. And again, we'll come back and we'll lay all of our logos in after the uniform's created. For me, this is an important step, especially because of the way that the uniforms were back then, back in the 80s. Colored cleats were a really popular thing. So lots of blue cleats, lots of red cleats. Not that many teams actually wore black cleats. And there were actually a handful. The Padres, the A's, and the Astros, right off the top of my head, wore white cleats as kind of their standard cleats. So we want to make sure that we get that set. And we have developed the 84 file with these team rebrands in mind. So if you lay these colors out properly when you're doing the rebrands, you'll be in great shape. So the sock color on this isn't really a big deal what you do up here. You don't really have to do anything with the sock. The stirrup is really where you want to make sure that you get this right. So every single team, with the exception of the Padres, did have a white sock here, and the Mets had a blue stirrup over the sock. So this is where the cleat graphic or the cleat coloring really comes into play. So the Mets wore a standard blue cleat with a white logo. So whether it was Nike or Mizuno or Adidas or whatever, it was always going to be a white logo with a blue cleat. Some guys wore white laces, other guys didn't. But so you don't want to get too crazy here. If you want it to be accurate, you can do whatever the heck you want. But for me, what I do is I go in and create that cleat graphic color as white, and then everything else on the cleat is going to be blue. So I can rip through those. So that's kind of what that cleat is going to look like. So what this applies to is when you have the team default in the player edit screen under the cleat option, you have player default listed on all of those in all those color spots. It's going to line up and look just like this, right? So again, every single player that we put in the 84 file is designed to match up with the this color scheme here. Okay. Batting gloves, up to you. Typically, I'm going to go with that primary color as the main color. Most of the guys in the league wore the Franklin Classic Pro batting gloves back end, so I usually will do white again. So if you have those set to team default, you'll have the blue back of the hand, and then the rest of the batting glove will be white. And then the armband, again, I usually select primary color. Do whatever the heck you want. Home jacket, so it's going to be the coach. What color jacket do you want them to wear? Again, usually going to select the primary color. And then catcher's gear. So this kind of catcher's gear didn't really exist. I mean, not obviously the hockey helmet didn't exist in '84, but most of the guys, most of the catchers in the league, they were wearing a solid. They were wearing the skull cap and the cage, and usually the padding on the cage was the same color as the mask. So if you set all of these to the primary and then the chest trim color to white, that's pretty accurate. And then coming down here, the shin guard to white. And then I do like, just to throw a little bit of color in there, I'll change those strap colors to white as well, just so you get a little bit of touch of white in there. But again, matter of preference there. So we've got our uniform laid out here. So now it's time to apply some logos. So let's go back, and all we're going to do now is we're going to go into the home cap and go all the way down to the bottom and click on X when we get to cap logo. And we're going to hit start, and we're going to hit load. So now this is going to bring up our menu of all the logos that we have. And I'm just going to bring up the Mets logo kit. So you can see all of these logos are here for us in one spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to hit the down button to select all of the logos. I'm going to press the up button on the logo that I want to keep for this particular logo, and then I'm going to move over to one of the ones that's selected, hit delete selected, and now I'm left with just this one kit. Okay. So I'm going to get this thing centered, and with the right stick on the rotate scale menu here, I can increase or decrease the size. One of the tricks in here is to, utilize that it kind of looks like, to me anyway, a bold center line, and I want to get, the logo centered on that as best as I can. And then when I think I'm relatively happy with where it is, I'm going to hit the X button. I'm going to go to more options, and then I'm going to click on show player. So this gives me an idea of what does this logo actually look like on the hat. So obviously it's not that big and it's not that small, right? So somewhere in between, right there looks pretty solid to me. So the nice thing is that because this was a pretty consistent logo across the board, I can hit X on it. I can go down to copy, so I can throw it up on my clipboard, and now I can go over to home helmet. I can apply it there, hit circle, go back to this menu. I can just toggle with the R1 L1 to my away cap. Hit that there. That doesn't look right now, obviously, because we haven't set the colors on the away uniforms yet. But the sizing and the centering of that logo is correct. And then that away helmet, I can do the same. And I can even take this and go, and let's say I wanted to put this on my home jacket. I wanted to put that up on the left breast up there. I can go to show player. I can shrink this thing down and pop that right there if I wanted to. Whatever you like. All right, so we now have our home cap, our home helmet, and our home jacket logo set. So the only thing left to do is the home jersey. So I'm going to get to this one here, or the other way that I could do it is toggle to here. Go down to jersey logo, select to edit. I'm just going to hit X there. I'm going to hit start, load again. And I'm going to go to my Mets logo kit again. I'm going to load this whole thing up so they're all there. And the Mets home logo was this one right here. It was the blue and the orange. So make sure that you do select both of those, right? Because you get the little orange outline. And I'm just going to, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but I'm just going to copy this. I'll hit down on all of them. I'll delete everything on here. Now I can hit paste. And now, see, it's that easy to screw up. So if you do screw it up, just delete it because you got it on your clipboard. Hit paste, hit down to select all of them, and now you can move this thing around as you see fit. So again, it's difficult to know exactly what it's going to look like. So go to more options, go to show player, and that is a little bit big, but not too bad. I want to get this thing centered up. We'll get that thrown on there like that, and that is a pretty. How about that? That is a pretty solid Mets uniform for 1984. Again, the number font isn't perfect, but the rest of the uniform is on point. And again, I can't stress this enough, the cleat colors. If you want to make sure that this is accurate, make sure that you do set those cleat colors properly, and you'll be good to go. Rinse and repeat. So hit X on the uniforms. Click on away, rinse and repeat here, right? And as we already said, our uniforms are already set there, so we're in good shape, right? Our logos were already set, so we're in good shape there. Let's have fun with this one. Go with the blue away jersey, which they had back then. And this one was a little bit different. So we've got a collar that is a 2-color band, so we'll go with the orange and the white. That is sick. Looks really nice. We'll also go with the 2-color stripe. We'll go orange and white. That's not quite what that looked like. That's the one. So orange and white on that. You know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe that was what that looked like. So we'll go with those. So again, want to stay consistent. Orange on the outside, white on the inside on the collar. Going to do the same on the stripes. So we can come down here. The sleeve, going to set that same scheme. So we've got that same stripe there, really nice. The numbers, these were going to be, we're going to do the names. We got orange on the outside and white on the inside. Remember, font 2 typically is the one that's going to look the best. We did have that front number on the away jerseys as well, so we're going to have that look the same. The away pants. I think you can actually leave those as white for away. But just to give you a quick little tip here, what I typically do for gray is I'll go over to the Yankees gray. That one's pretty good. It's a little bit dark. So if you just keep that left stick over on the left hand side and slide it up a touch, not too far, that is pretty good right there for the aways. We'll do the main color for the logo there, the helmet, and we are good to go, right? So I won't go over the cleats and stuff again. I think you guys probably get that at this point. So we'll go back now. We'll do the away jersey. Again, we're going to load this baby up. Get the logo kit loaded in there. I want the white and orange one in there this time, so I'm going to cut this guy out of there. I'll delete everything else. Pop that in there. Show my player, select everything, and I am super happy with that version of the blue Mets away uniform. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, we have every single logo kit for every team. Oh, forgot one thing. Coming down here to stadium selection, so you can assign the stadium. So again, if you're doing the 84 season, you can come right over here to Shea Stadium. And that will lock Shea Stadium right in for this team. We do have every single stadium done for 84 as well, including the Mexican teams and the Japanese teams that we've included. Again, those can be, there's going to be a stadium list that we publish that has all the different online IDs for the folks who created those stadiums. Available for you as well. So I think you'll find this 84 roster is going to be a very immersive experience. You're going to be able to make it look like 1984, which is exactly what our goal was when we started this thing. So hopefully that helps. And yeah, be on the lookout for more videos. Thanks so much.